Wick. So the remix to Who Wants Smoke was dropped yesterday. It is now trending. It went at number 1. Nardo, Wick, Little Durk, 21 Savage and G Hobo. Best verse on there is 21 Savage. 21 Savage was talking about the hollow tips. He said Nardo trying to fight him for the stick because it's his turn to shoot. Talking all the stuff. G Hobo's verse was alright, it was cool. So we get into Little Durk's verse now, and he's talking about how people on the internet are saying to him, slide for Van. And then he said, got it back in blood. They don't know that's how it's supposed to be. He said he got it back in blood and no one knows it. They already slide for Van. This is not the first time they said they already slide for Van. He said he got it back in blood. No one knows, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But then when you look at the situation, and you look at the reality of the situation, Little Tim is all fine, comes to Little Tim and stuff, but Little Tim was shot the night. When you go back and you look at the video, you can see they literally hit him in his stomach, and when they hit him, people thought it was in his foot. Gotta look properly, you gotta zoom it in and look closely. Little Tim actually grabbed exactly where they shot him at the same time, even though he could not move and he still hopped around like he couldn't have walked and stuff, and he couldn't have used his foot. He wasn't shot in his foot, he was actually shot in his stomach, the same place where the bag is. He was shot on the night, but we also do not know if he was shot at by Get Back Gang. Does he have another wound that he hasn't told anyone? If this did happen, I don't see them hiding it from the public unless they're paid to do that. We don't know if Little Tim is hiding a gunshot wound or something. He said they got it back in blood, but then at the same time you got to think, the back in blood track, it wasn't about them getting it back in blood or them going to take out Little Tim to do this get back. It was about them getting back on someone and them telling the other side, you better get it back in blood and stuff. And then when you read in deep in the lyrics and you go down the rabbit hole, you listen to Pooh Shiesty's verse and you listen to the lyrics deep, it really boils down to them saying they got it back in blood. The track that was dropped the same night. And remember, 21 Savage was with Little Durk that night. And 21 Savage said that himself in the Clubhouse audio. He said he was with Little Durk at the bowling alley when Little Durk found out. Isn't it funny how him and 21 Savage is on the song and he's talking about got it back in blood? No one don't know that's how it's supposed to be. Little Tim and everyone's fine. Who is he talking about? Who is he talking about getting back in blood? I don't understand. Who is he talking about? He's talking about Boo Boo. I want to talk about, because Little Tim and Quandra is fine. They are all fine. He's talking about he got it back in blood and no one don't know. It's because he's talking about he smoked Van. He's talking about he smoked Van. And that's why he mentioned get it back in blood. And he's not even going out of his way to make people believe it, because he knows if people really dig deep to what he's actually saying and break down these bars, like what we're doing now, we're breaking down the bars. He is talking about him getting it back in blood, but then he's referring to the back in blood track that goes right back to the night Van getting killed. So who is the back in blood track about? Who is the back in blood track about? They already proved it. It's about him getting King Von. It's about him getting it back in blood. To him now talking about got it back in blood. No one don't know that's how it's supposed to be. No one knows it. I mean, people's trying to tell people, but no one really knows it. Everyone thinks he's cool with his bars. Everyone thinks that's twinning them. And another thing as well, why don't his bars hit when he talks about King Von? Why don't his bars hit when he talks about King Von? That's the thing, right? When you're really down for someone and stuff and twinning them and stuff like that, and you think about things to say about that person, best believe it will hit like the chains that's on his neck. It would hit like the V-Roy chain. The bars don't hit. The bars Little Durk speaks about King Von, it doesn't hit. It makes you feel like, wow, he really lost his twinning them. It don't give you any feeling. Paid it over just to see if he's getting. This has been happening in all of the music where he mentioned Von. Actually, I felt like, okay, the bars, yeah, all right, then it kind of gives you a feeling. It's all about a feeling, and that's something you don't get. That's how you know it's not genuine. And the day Little Durk does this King Von interview, you watch, he would shed no tears. He would shed no tears. I'm telling you, even if they put a picture up there to try and get an emotion from him and they're showing pictures and stuff, no one is feeling it. We are not feeling it. I can't feel it. He's recruiting Nardo Wick. He's recruiting Nardo Wick. And don't be surprised if he ended up building him up and stuff and then he goes down as Pooh Shiesty. Do not be surprised, because that's what they have been doing. He's working for them. Little Durk is working for him. He's not talking about Little Tim and Quandra. He is not talking about Little Tim and Quandra. He's talking about how he got it back in blood. You get into his verse and he's showing off his status, right? Dressed in a suit with 6 shooters in front of him. Right? He has on the suit, meaning he is sending out the hits, right? And they are just waiting for his orders. These shooters and stuff, they're sitting down and as he said, got it back in blood, and then he stood upright. What is he talking about? I'm telling you, he's talking about he got it back in blood. He's not talking about, because I'm thinking for like the last 6 hours, I sat and I thought about this. I'm thinking, what is he talking about? The Little Tim mom gets hit. The Quandra grandma's house gets hit up. Little Tim and Quandra hiding a gunshot wound. He focused on Little Tim and Quandra because he said specifically, they be on my page saying slide for Van. I know they're trolling me. Got it back in blood. Nobody knows that's how it's supposed to be. And he stood up to make his point, but then at the same time, he didn't really want to put it in your face too much because he didn't really go out of his way to make it a point. And also, Little Tim and Quando Rondo is the one that people want, right? They are the most wanted in these streets right now. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, wait, nothing's happened to Little Tim, nothing's happened to Quando Rondo. What is he talking about? What could he be talking about? He referred to the back in blood. And that's when I'm like, oh wow, he's actually talking about he got it back in blood. And he's sitting down there with 6 shooters. When did King Von die? Under 6. Little Tim and Quando Rondo wasn't them big bras? Wasn't that his big bra? That's what I am saying. He wasn't talking about him siding for Von and him siding on Little Tim and Quando Rondo. So listen to the verse, right? It's very easy to come up with the conclusion that, oh, someone close to Little Tim and Quando Rondo got hit up and they were paid to hide it from the public. I don't think, even though that probably could happen, I don't think Little Tim or Quando Rondo is hiding a gunshot wound from the public. He's not talking about that. He is actually talking about him getting the back in blood, and he referred to the back in blood when they recruited Nardo. There's a video going around where they have him at gunpoint and stuff, the police and all of it, and this, I'm like, what is going on here? And I went and I read his rap sheet and all of it, and he's from Jacksonville, not even all the Jacksonville bodies and all the stuff, right? So again, they are recruiting Nardo Wick. They're recruiting Nardo Wick. Don't be surprised if they end up building him up like Pooh Shiesty and then he end up going down like Pooh Shiesty, because I'm thinking, all this money Pooh Shiesty had, you mean to tell me Little Durk can't get Pooh Shiesty out? All the links and the connects Little Durk had to the man, all this stuff, you mean to tell me he can't get Pooh Shiesty out? Pooh Shiesty is facing 20 years. Pooh Shiesty's facing now. It doesn't make sense. And the charge that they ran, so to be honest with you, at this point when they read the charges, if I can't see it like how I saw it on camera, I don't believe it. I do not believe all them charges that they wrote down about Pooh Shiesty and all this stuff. I don't believe it. Something is weird in the Pooh Shiesty situation, but we are going to get down to the bottom of the Pooh Shiesty situation because something is not right in that case. How Pooh Shiesty went from this, then they're bailing out murderers and stuff, and this guy just went and he shoot up the school and all of that, and they bailed him out and all this stuff, and you mean tell me Pooh Shiesty can't get bailed? Then you have other rappers speaking out about it as well. Make it make sense. Who was he connected to? Little Durk. Make it make sense. Now we have Nardo Wick. Don't be surprised if something happened to Nardo. I'm telling you, where they end up burning out and then he end up going down because he ended up self-snitching when it comes to bodies and stuff and showing off all these guns and stuff, and they track him down. This is the lyrics and stuff. I'm telling you, because something is weird in this picture. There's no way that Pooh Shiesty back in blood did over 108 million. All this money that they made off the song, and Pooh Shiesty is now facing 20 years. Make it make sense. Something's going on in the Pooh Shiesty case. I'm telling you, there is no way he's inside there for free. Pooh Shiesty is not inside there for the crimes that they are telling you on paper. If I can't see it on camera like they showed us, Bond, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to believe it.